Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. As a YouTuber, I must say that Stephen Flynn offers excellent value for money. Virtually every day, he opens his big, stupid mouth and says things worthy of a whole slew of YouTube videos. He is the man whose mouth launches 1,000 channels a day. You can't get over it. His latest, I suppose faux pas is a word we can use, but it's actually a whole bunch of them in one go, so we will go through them. But it involves obviously the winter fuel payment, but it goes way, way beyond the winter fuel payment. He sat and he has admitted that he doesn't know how the Barnett formula works. You see, in England and Wales, they've set up a fund from which those in need can extricate a little bit of extra money to cover their fuel poverty. This is to try and placate those who think that the winter fuel allowance cut is a bad thing. They said, oh no, look, we're putting in less extra money. Those who actually need it can have it. And it only applies to those currently receiving, like this particular poverty top-up benefit thing for pensions. Now, you're thinking, oh, well, we'll put this extra money in and we'll tell people who are pensioners that if they can apply for it and if they pass, they can get this extra money. And that's all very fine and pleasant. However, the booklet, and I say booklet, that accompanies this that you have to use to apply for this credit is 243 questions long. Seriously, yes it is. I don't think anyone reads it. It just goes on and on and on, mindless bollocks, right? And at the end of it, it's so easy to make some mistakes. And if you make one mistake, then bang, you have to start again and you don't get your entitlement and all this. But this was set up, but it was set up for money already in the system. And so may not actually be leading to an increase in Barnett consequentials because it comes from existing money that's already been declared. But when asked whether the winter fuel allowance in Scotland could be saved, Stephen Flynn says, well, I don't understand how the Barnett formula works, so I don't know if we get a share of this extra 500 million. Well, no, you don't, Stephen, because that's not how it works. And as you admit yourself, you don't know how the Barnett formula works. You're a man who works in Westminster that reports to Scotland, and you don't know something fundamental like that. It's stunning, isn't it? Then he was also questioned on his appearance, not the things he wears, that's fine, but his actual number of times he turns up. And it's been pointed out that Nigel Farage turns up in Parliament more often than Stephen Flynn. Nigel Farage is in America half the time. Flynn flustered and tried to say, well, people watch me on TV, they see me here. Yes, well, they used to see you there a lot when you were getting to ask your weekly question, but now that you're an unimportant backbench nobody, you barely turn up at all. You don't get your face on the telly nearly often enough as you like, and so you don't bother doing your day job of attending Westminster. Now, on to the winter fuel allowance itself. He went and questioned why don't the SNP keep it? Why on earth are they cutting it? It's a purely England and Wales thing for Westminster. Scotland can keep it. They've elected not to, but they could. And he said, don't be silly. We don't have the funding. There was no choice. I'm sorry, Stephen. There is always a choice. You could choose to keep the winter heating allowance, or you could choose to fly Angus Fraser around the world first class with his champagne and caviar. It's your call. Thanks very much. I'm off to enjoy the next round of Stephen Flynn's stupidity. Bye for now.